Hey friends, and welcome back to my monthly financial check-in. This is where I talk about my dog grooming business and how it went in the last month. In this case, it's November. We're talking income, expenses, profit, and also a pretty big update. I apologize in advance for any weird noise. I have a dog waiting to get picked up, but also I've got these giant inflatables in the front room. They're gorgeous. Let me show you. How adorable! And then there's this little guy over here as well. But yeah, they're quite noisy. If he's not going to be annoying, he can sit here with me. He was being a bit of a sook in the cage by himself. So I think I'll talk about the finance part first, as always, and then I'll go into talking about what's... He's not going to... Whoa, he just tried to jump. Okay, back in the cage. Alrightio, November's income was $16,337 with $13,978 of expenses, which includes my own pay. So my profit was $2,360, which is about a 14% margin. A few months ago, I broke down my expenses into everything that they are. I don't have them in front of me right now to list them all off, but I'll just quickly chuck up right here, somewhere here. So November wasn't my strongest month of the year, but it was still solid. Like 14% is very good, especially considering the surprise expenses that came with the month. So I did buy a video camera, which is what I'm filming on now. I genuinely love it. I don't regret this purchase at all, and I was expecting this purchase, but that was $800. What I didn't expect is that 4 of the lights in my ceiling all went on the brink at the same time. But yeah, that was $814 to replace 4 lights. Yeah, that was a lot of money. And the Roomba died again, so I had to buy more parts for it. So that was another $200. So yeah, not the cheapest month in the history of my business, but still pretty good to have a 14% profit margin after I had to spend like $1,000 that I wasn't expecting to have to spend. A major success from November is that I did hit over $10,000 balance in my bank account. It's not the resting balance, it's just, again, I think I mentioned this last video, but it got up to $10,000, which is still exciting. Also, one of my TikToks popped off. Let me find it, hold on. So if you don't have me on TikTok, this is my TikTok. Oh, look, it's doing a little product showcase. One of them, this one, it got a kabillion views. How good. It got 390,000 views. Like, how exciting. It was just me grooming a Samoyed. So if you use TikTok, follow me there. Like 2 days after that popped off, I posted another really hairy Samoyed video, and that one did not do numbers. So I don't know what happened. I'm not complaining. It was really exciting. Now, my goals for November was to hit a $9,000 resting balance and to post every day on my Katie Paula Instagram account story, and I did not do either of those things. To be fair, I remember when I was making last month's video, I was like, let's do $8,000, and I was like, nah, it's a big month. Let's do 9,000. And if it wasn't for the lights, I definitely would have achieved that goal. I just didn't because I had to spend money that I didn't think I was going to have to spend. The posting every day on Instagram stories, it just didn't happen. I was pretty gung-ho for like a week, and then I just forgot. I just got really busy. I've been working heaps and pretty like tired and burnt out. So I just didn't do that, but that's okay. It was not a goal that was make or break. And now for the reveal, I am closing the salon. I'm stressed out about it. It's for a good reason. If you've watched my previous videos, you've heard me talk about wanting to do an overseas work holiday, and I think now is the time. The ultimate deciding factor was that my lease is coming up for renewal in the middle of January, and I've just turned 32. And most countries, to get the youth work visa, you have to be either 30 or 35. Like, that's the maximum age you can do it. So I'm already locked out of half the countries that have this program, including the Netherlands, which was my numero uno preference for where to do a work holiday. But I've only got a couple more years to do it at all. And the lease here is a 3-year lease. So if I extended the lease one more time, I would be locked in for another 3 years, and I'll be 35 by the time it ended. And then I just couldn't do a work holiday. Like, I could probably figure something out, but it would be a lot harder. So even though it it terrifies me to think about closing down this really successful business that I've got and letting go of all these amazing clients I have, I'm also really excited to do something cool. So I've got just over 5 weeks left before the lease ends, and I'm terrified. I'm really scared. I'm scared because I've been running this business for nearly 11 years. Ever since I was old enough to work, I've always had a job. I've never had any period of unemployment, luckily. I've always worked full time. It's just that's been a constant in my life. And the thought of closing this down feels like jumping off a cliff. Here's the confusing part. I was going through the Invisalign process quite a few years ago. I stopped wearing my trays. That was on me. Was having a lot of trouble with the orthodontist that I was going to. I'm not going to get into it. I just decided to switch orthodontists, and I finally have done that. But it's kind of come at the exact same time as deciding that I'm not going to continue the business. I don't really have a plan for when I'm going to go on this holiday. I'm thinking 2026 sometime, but ultimately it's going to decide on how this new Invisalign consult goes. So I'm in this really weird place right now that's making me incredibly anxious, where I know for a fact that I'm not continuing the lease here, but I don't know what I'm doing after that. I am going to take at least 2 months off work and just do absolutely nothing. I've been saving annual leave for myself since basically since I started making profit again. So for the last 7-8 months, I think, and I'll have enough for about 2 months off by the time the salon closes. So I'm just going to spend a period of time being unemployed and not working and not having a job. Which is stressful, but I think it's going to be really nice to just do nothing for a while, especially considering how hard I've been working over the last couple of months. I do still want to make YouTube content because I really like sharing dog groomer, business owner things. It's just that I won't be a business owner anymore. So it's kind of weird to think about, isn't it? I do still want to make YouTube videos because I really love making these YouTube videos. They just will look different for a little while. I think I've really loved doing this financial update every month, and I think I'll continue to do that. But once I'm unemployed, it's just going to have to be personal finance, I guess. I'm still going to have this video, obviously. I'll have the whole of December. I'll have a half month in January, and then nothing. But I've already filmed a lot of content of actual dog grooming content. I'm thinking I'll do a couple of story times. I already want to do a video on my biggest Karen clients, because I've had a couple. And then when I actually do go overseas, I want to document that and film it and vlog it and talk about what it's like moving to a different country and what it's like being a dog groomer in Australia versus where I go, yada yada. I also haven't decided where I'm going to go. I'm thinking the UK because the language is English, so there's no language barrier there, but also it's really close to everywhere in Europe, so I can just kind of do a weekend trip to Belgium or a weekend trip to Spain, or everything's just so close. I'm open to suggestions if anybody lives in the UK and has some good ideas. My client who just picked up his dog was recommending Edinburgh. He was like, I was born there, it's beautiful, that might be cool. Anyway, with all of this in mind, I have to set a goal for December, the last full month of operating my business. I would love to hit a $10,000 resting balance. I don't know if that's doable. That's going to be my stretch goal. So I think I'll make my normal goal to hit a $9,000 resting balance, properly, comfortably. 10,000 will be a stretch goal. If I hit that, amazing. If not, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But also a practical goal. I'm getting really stressed out about not having a plan. And whilst I can't do anything about it while I'm waiting for my Invisalign follow-up, I would like to focus on what I can do. So I want to start decluttering the salon. My storeroom is a mess. I'm going to take you to see my storeroom. The storeroom has just been a dumping ground for so long. And yeah, it's a little, ugh. All right, light turns on automatically. Look at that. What the heck? Oh my lord. Look at all this stuff here. I just have a lot of stuff, and I only have one day between closing the salon, it's in my last day of dogs, and handing the keys back. And because I only have one day, I kind of want to do everything that I can beforehand. Anyway, I'm going to go actually eat something for lunch, and I'll see you in the next video for the December update, the last update of 2025. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you then.